Hi, this is Savannah,
And this is Brian from the Dorky Diva Show,
and you're listening to Starboars.
the best place for below average Star Wars.
Welcome to Starboars, the best place for below average Star Wars.
Hello there, and welcome to the Starboard
The best
Show.
place for below average Star Wars.
I'm one of your hosts, the Geordie Jedi, Pete.
And I'm Canon XL Junkie Ian.
Ian, it's been a while since we've got together, but we're finally back for our 50th episode of the Star Wars podcast. That sounds pretty awesome to me, and I can't wait to speak Star Wars with you.
Me too, mate. I had no idea it was the 50th episode. That's amazing. Obviously, it's been a little while. Obviously, me and you, we have quite full-on work schedules and obviously partners. I've got a dog and all that type of thing, so it is sometimes hard to get together, but I'm looking forward to chatting today, mate.
It is, yeah. So our last two episodes, episode number 48, that was a Knowing You special with the awesome Caitlin from Sky Talkers podcast. So go check that one out, listeners. And then also episode 49 was the first issue of our Pewdie Belter series. We had Brian Balance come on and tell us why Qui-Gon Jinn is Pewdie Belter. So definitely check those two episodes out. But me and Ian are back today, both available at the same time, here to talk about the Star Wars news and the general Star Wars chat that's been going on in a galaxy far, far away. We'll just get straight into it, Ian. Something that came out yesterday, Sebastian Stan was on Good Morning America promoting Falcon and Winter Soldier. And they sort of brought up on there, the host brought up with them, would you be interested in sort of playing a young Luke Skywalker in Star Wars? Have you seen this clip?
I haven't seen this clip, mate, no.
Well, it's a very quick clip, so don't worry, and I'll give you a rundown. So, essentially, the presenters ask Sebastian Stan, there's rumours and like people are saying that he would be a good fit for young Skywalker in Star Wars. And they brought up the fact that I think Mark Hamill has tweeted it, that like it could be good casting type of thing. And Sebastian Stan being very good at media duties these days was he said if Mark Hamill calls him personally to tell him that he believes inclined to share his role with me, then he'll believe it then, and then that's when he would maybe think about it. So he sort of a good-natured laugh as he was sort of doing it, just sort of saying, I'm not going to say I would never do it, but I'm also not going to say I'm attached, and also I'm just going to say, you brought Mark Hamill up, and I'm going to say if he calls me personally, maybe I might look at it then, type of thing. I thought it was a bit of good fun, probably a bit of nothing news, to be honest. I think, if he is attached to playing Luke Skywalker in some way, he's certainly not going to release it in an interview about Falcon and Winter Soldier. That'll be with a proper press release, I imagine, a proper press package from Lucasfilm and Disney. And also, and if he's not, he's not going to say he never wants to do it because it would be a really good role. Do you know what I mean? So he's sort of saying, I don't think anyone's interested in that. Mark Hamill really thinks that he can give us a call, type of thing, trying to keep it good-natured. But yeah, I thought it was just a bit of good fun interview. They probably caught him off guard with the question of it, and he's handled it really well.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, that's a fun answer. I said people at Lucasfilm might be saying, Mark, give Sebastian a call. Nah, that's funny. Yeah, I think he'd be the only person I'd want if they were ever to do a young, obviously, Luke Skywalker, because he looks just like him. It's quite creepy, actually. how they look quite similar to each other. But yeah, it's a cool way of saying it, and obviously it's an iconic role, and he doesn't want to come across and saying, "Oh yeah, I could do that." Like, and obviously, if Mark has obviously intimated before that'd be good casting, maybe he will make that call to Sebastian Stan and say, "Look, yeah, you can do it." Because obviously, the Mandalorian, Luke didn't have a lot to do. Obviously, all the lightsaber stuff in the Mandalorian was obviously not Mark Hamill. But you couldn't see his face, which makes sense. But if they were gonna do a Luke Skywalker show then obviously you'd have to cast an actor because you couldn't do the de-age thing all the way through. So no, I think that'd be really cool if Sebastian Stan was going to play a young Luke Skywalker one day. Obviously, he handled it really well, like you said, and hopefully Mark makes that phone call one day.
Yeah, I think one day is the key thing there. I think if there was plans for Luke Skywalker in the immediate future, I think then you would introduce a new actor in that scene of Mandalorian.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get where you're coming from there. Yeah, it's just I think you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If they recast him, you'd have people going, "Oh, that's not Luke Skywalker," and then there's people who are not happy with the digital Mark Hamill. So one of them things, mate. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think if there was a project on the corner with a new Luke Skywalker, I think you would just, we'll introduce it here to get people used to it, get all those comments out of the way with, and then obviously when the Luke Skywalker series comes, you already know who Luke Skywalker is, you've seen him at the end of Mandalorian, but it's a case of I think the one is well, there's no other plans to use a character. Why cast someone now just for this, not even a minute scene at the end there? Let's just bring Mark Hamill in. It's probably the easiest way, and then use the ILM de-aging technology. Del Rey have announced, obviously we know Star Wars Visions is coming probably this year, which is going to be sort of an anime look at some sort of Force type stuff for Star Wars. I think it's going to be it's individual stories, is that right, each episode?
Yeah, I'm led to believe that. I don't know if they're retellings of stories we've seen or they're original stories. I'm kind of hoping they're original stories. I'm not really interested in seeing an animated version of an old story, to be fair. I do hope they're new, but obviously what you're going to say now with the book, hopefully it is original stories, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think maybe it might be original stories that tie into other stories that we know. So there's a connectivity there that's very apparent, maybe. Plus, you've got a TV show coming. It's going to be a collection of animated shorts that tell stories around the Force with things.
Does that come out
Del
this year?
Raven. I think they've officially said a release date, but I imagine it'll be back in the year.
I didn't think it was coming out this year. But obviously, if the book's coming out in October, then yeah.
Yeah, so the book Del Raven on Star Wars Visions, Ronin. It's a new novel by Emma Miko Kandon. There's no artwork as of yet. It's arriving on October 12th, 2021. The novel is a brand new story that will tie into the upcoming Disney Plus series Star Wars Visions. And sort of Star Wars Books is saying that it's going to... this year, Star Wars Visions will bring all new creative takes on Star Wars from the world's best anime creators. So yeah, this year. So Star Wars Books is saying that Star Wars Visions, the series, is coming this year, and it will bring all new creative takes on Star Wars from the world's best anime creators. And then they're also saying that coming October 12th, an original novel inspired by one of those animated tales. A Star Wars book quite unlike any before it, Ronin, by Emma Miko Kandon. So the book is going to be inspired by one of those animated tales that we're going to get in the series. Which to me says if the book's inspired by one of those animated tales, and we get in the book on October 12th, for me, if this is based off one of those tales, we should probably get the tale first.
Yeah, that probably
Does that make sense?
It would be a bit weird if they released a book about something and then that's the end of the series. But yeah.
So we'll have to see. But yeah, no cover work as yet. I love the name Ronin. Obviously, this has sort of that samurai
type thing.
Yeah, and obviously, we've seen something similar in the Marvel Cinematic Universe recently with
Hawkeye.
With how Hawkeye was featured after the events of Avengers.
Yes, I'm led to
Infinity War.
believe that his show will go into that a bit, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so a Ronin is essentially a wandering samurai who had no lord or master. So that's what the word Ronin means. So wandering samurai.
About a Jedi who maybe because they introduced the concept. Excuse me. They introduced the concept of a way. What was it called in the Into the Dark for the High Republic. I can't remember what it was called. It was something Wayfinder. No, it weren't Wayfinder. I can't remember what it was called. 2 secs. I'm just gonna check because it was a really interesting concept. Basically, this role in the Jedi, they basically just wandered the galaxy. They were disconnected from the council and that. They were just out doing their own thing, helping people. Wayseeker, that was it. That's what they're called. A Jedi Wayseeker, which is I'll read the description of it now. So maybe this could be, say, a Wayseeker was a title of the Jedi Order and signified the Jedi who wish to operate independently of the Jedi High Council and dictates. Wayseekers have been known to undergo solitary meditation on mountaintops and assist revolutionaries against planetary tyrants. So maybe it could be a case of this follows a Jedi Wayseeker, which would be pretty cool.
Possibly, I think, as well, like, more modern character as well,
Yeah.
Ahsoka, in my opinion, is a Wayseeker. You know, although she is no longer part of the Jedi Order, she still holds on to their values. She's still a good person and is a Jedi, being selfless. So, you know, it could be someone like Ahsoka, could be, I don't know, it could be Luke Skywalker. You know, he doesn't have a Jedi council because he's the last Jedi.
Yeah.
So what's he doing? So it's very, I love the title. It like I said, you know, the title means a wandering samurai who had no lord or master. We all know that the Jedi are based on samurai in some way or another. George Lucas was heavily influenced by that. It could mean, it could mean a Dark Force user who's not a Sith as well. So lots of exciting stuff there. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this book. The title's got us really excited about what we could get in this series as well. So it's got us more excited for the series coming.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was my least excited for series, but this book has piqued my interest. To be fair.
Yeah, so I think I'll definitely be pre-ordering that book. Like I said, Star Wars Visions Running is coming October 12th. I imagine that this series will be coming somewhere around then to tie into it, considering that the book is based on one of the tales. So yeah, that's looking really good.
Definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely. It's something I'm looking forward to. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm guessing I will. And I get every book. But yeah, looking forward to reading that one.
And then also this week, we have had some bits of Lego merchandising news. So Lego have been promoting their essentially it's the new helmet series. That also includes a really, really cool looking probe droid. So the new Star Wars helmets, we've got a Darth Vader helmet coming. This is where the helmet series, essentially, you build a helmet and it comes on a stand, and it's almost like you've got like an actual helmet, and they're made for display purposes, essentially. So yeah, the Lego group have officially revealed the Darth Vader helmet and the Scout Trooper helmets are coming. They're the next helmets in the series, and they both look really, really good. I think in America they'll be able to pre-order at Walmart now, possibly. But they'll be available globally from April 26th. So about a month away for those. But like I said, the Scout Trooper and the Vader both look awesome. I don't know if you saw the first wave. It was like the Boba Fett helmet and stuff.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm tempted by the Boba Fett one because I'm on a bit of a Boba Fett kick at the moment. But there's so much merchandise out there I want, and I've got something coming hopefully soon that obviously stops me from buying the Boba Fett one for now.
Yeah, we'll dive into that in a bit. I'm into what merch we've got coming, but yeah. So like these, I've not bought them, but the whole collection looks really good. And the only reason I haven't bought them is because similar to you, I've got so much merch already and so much merch coming that I need to be a bit more picky with what I buy now. But yeah, like the Vader helmet looks awesome. The Scout Trooper helmet looks awesome. And if you've been collecting that first wave, you're probably definitely going to want these ones to go with it. And then they've also announced a Imperial Probe Droid figure.
The Lego one.
And the Lego Probe Droid, so it comes with one of those comes with the plaques that you get with the Ultimate collections. So I don't know how big it is, but it looks pretty impressive, the Probe Droid. So you build the whole Probe Droid, it comes on a stand and it fits into this snowy sort of stand, and then it's got one of those technical plaques that you get with the Ultimate Collector series. with like the blueprint on, if that
Yeah.
makes sense, and like the stats. So that they're coming April 26th, and they're available to pre-order now. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun time for Lego collectors out there. Like I said, those two new helmets will go nicely with the other helmets if you've been collecting them. And again, if you just want to collect your favorite character, if Vader's one of them, then he's available now, so you'll be able to pick him up. Off the back of that, there's a thing going on online where, so in the promotional stuff Lego have used for the two helmets and the Probe Droid, there's a picture of the Probe Droid on a desk, and then just underneath the table, sort of not in the shot, is like an R2-D2 Lego head.
Oh.
That's not mentioned, and it's not the full product. You only see the top of the product. So Lego may have inadvertently or perhaps purposely put on a sneak peek at an upcoming new product in the form of R2-D2. A promo clip put out for the new Imperial Probe Droid clearly shows R2's dome under the table.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, it looks quite like a big scale, to be fair, like the dome. So we get all our news from JediNews.com. So I recommend, if you want to go and look at these pictures yourselves, listeners, head over to JediNews.com, and you'll be able to see exactly what we're looking at. They've sort of broken the story there. But yeah, the last time we got a Lego Star Wars R2-D2 in sort of this similar scale was 9 years ago, and that was when the Ultimate Collector's Edition R2-D2 was released.
That'll be expensive then, no doubt.
So yeah. Yeah, so this version under the table is it's clearly different to the set we got in 2012. So we'll just need to wait to see what we hear from Lego about it. But it's a cool way of doing it. I think I hope it was on purpose, and it's we're going to focus on this Probe Droid right now, but we're going to put this underneath, and then we're going to break this news probably in a few months' time after the Probe Droid's been released. We'll talk about the R2-D2 maybe. But very, very cool. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Speaking of Lego, I got the. So it was my birthday this week, and I got the surprise package delivered from my good friends Rachel and Barney. So thank you very much for that, Rachel and Barney. Got the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from the opening of Revenge of the Sith. So I'm excited to build that because I really do love that ship. Ship has so much significance to me. That battle at the beginning is so good. And the way they fly, they take care of all the droids. The war's going on in the background around them. It's crazy, it's mental. Things going everywhere. Kenobi's got the buzz droids on his, that craziness. Yeah, and then you have them flying into the hangar and jumping out before the ships even land and fighting their way through. And obviously, the sad moment at the end of the movie where you have, Anakin tells R2 to stay with the ship, and this is the ship he tells him to stay with. And Anakin never returns.
I wonder what happens to that ship.
So yeah. It's probably still there. Mustafar, he probably threw it in the lava in a rage when he got back there after he built his castle, I'd imagine.
But yeah, no, that makes me hugely excited for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Obviously, seeing them two back together again.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, the Kenobi show. I always thought it would have been cool to have I don't know how it would fit in it. It depends what happened to the ship. But if the ship's just sitting there on the dock, on the loading bay, on Mustafar, I thought it would be good to see Kylo go and take the ship and use it as his own personal ship. I take his grandfather's ship. I thought that would have been cool for the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, in the new Darth Vader comic, I'm sure he goes back to Mustafar for the new arc. I swear there's a Jedi interceptor on.
It might be that. It might be his interceptor then.
Sure he does. Wait. I'm still waiting for the one. I don't think the new one comes out till the 27th of April. That's when he finally gets to Exegol. I'm bloody waiting for it. Just trying to see. I'm just going through the comic now. He's in a Jedi Interceptor, yeah, he is. I don't think he's... Anakin's is yellow, though, isn't he? Yeah, well, this one...
It was, yeah.
He's got green and red markings, but it is a Jedi Interceptor. Maybe it's just...
Maybe he painted his, or maybe he got
worn off.
changed. Well, it's in quite a
Yeah.
violent environment, so I would imagine it would
Yeah.
could change colour over the years, like quite easily with the sort of the volcanic ash
Well,
flying around in the
it's
heat.
definitely Vader and the Jedi Interceptor, which you'll be hugely excited for when that second volume comes out to read. That makes you excited.
Yeah,
for that,
definitely. It's gonna be exciting.
mate. Yeah.
No, definitely, mate. It does. We're getting a lot of good content in books and comics. I think it's been a really, really good time for that. And you know, we've also got new series coming as well, like this year to Disney Plus. It's weird with no movie sort of on the horizon. We've got like an awful lot to chew on, if that makes sense. Quite a lot of tasty meals on the way, which is still good.
Definitely, mate.
Speaking of merch, what merch have you been ordering recently? I know you've been on a bit of a merch spree, getting some
a lot of
old
the
Legends stuff.
books. So in the last couple of weeks, I've got the Force Unleashed novel, which I've never read, which is funny because I'm a massive fan of the game, so I'm going to give that a read. I've got Maul Lockdown, which is obviously the Legends books from Maul. Just this morning, the Dark Horse Darth Maul comic from 2000 has arrived, a trade paperback, which is hugely signed because I've read that before digitally, but I love it, so it's nice to have that for my collection. And then over the next couple of weeks, I've got the Shadows of the Empire book, which is obviously the new Legends version, which I've read before, obviously, but I like to have physical copies and stuff. I've got the Force Unleashed 2 novel coming. I've got the Darth Maul Shadow Hunter coming because they're dirt cheap now. These books, they're not anything really expensive.
Are you getting them on eBay or?
Surprisingly, I got the Darth Maul trade paperback 2000 from Amazon, which wasn't bad, to be fair. Someone had it up for the thing. I've got a few of them from Amazon. I've got a few from there's like a website called Blackwell's and Wordery who do like Legends books and that. But yeah, I've just had a lot of books coming recently, which is cool. I still need to finish Victory's Price, which I've just got so behind on because obviously work and all that type of thing. I don't really have time to sit down and read it, but hopefully this weekend I'll get the majority of that read. And then hopefully apparently it's supposed to ship this month. I've got the Mandalorian Black Series helmet, which hopefully will ship this month. It's supposed to come in April, but obviously with COVID and that, obviously you don't know when these things will ship because obviously they have to come over on boats and all that. And I think there's quite a lot of backup at the moment. But hopefully, yeah, that's everything I can think of at the moment. I ordered the Darth Maul figure as well, which is from the 2000 trade paperback comic. And I've got a few figures on order as well. But other than that, mate, that's me. Yourself?
Yeah, so like some quite interesting stuff. Obviously, Hasbro, obviously over in the US and Canada, have Hasbro Pulse, where you can buy direct from Hasbro. And you can be a Pulse Premium member, which gets you like free shipping and access to exclusive figures before the general public. So that's finally launched in the UK. So it's launched this month in the UK. So Hasbro Pulse launched at the beginning of March. I signed up to become a Hasbro Pulse Premium member. That cost £20. There's not really much on there at the minute, site-wise. But the £20 sort of guarantees you get free shipping on everything you buy. So I'll probably buy a few things on there throughout the year. So I'll probably make that money back. And then also some exclusives become available on there that are exclusive only to Hasbro Pulse. I thought it puts me in a good position to snag those. So at the minute, as I'm saying, it's launched in the UK at the beginning of the month. So they sort of press released it at the beginning of the month, and it launched on around the 6th of March, I think, I want to say. So I mean, at the minute on HasbroPulse.com, you can pre-order obviously there's 4 new figures coming from to Star Wars, the 6-inch Black Series line, and they're based on Legends comics and books. We've got Luke Skywalker from Heir to the Empire, which is essentially just a repaint of the Luke Dagobah training. We've got Jackson the Rabbit coming from the Star Wars 80s comics. We've got the Star Wars Black Series Imperial Guard Carnor Jax, who was originally mislabeled as a different Imperial Guard.
I can't remember what it is.
Someone else, so it's still listed as Carnor Jax on the Hasbro Pulse website. So to me, that says that the figures are probably all mislabeled because I'm guessing it's already in production, which is fun. It's cool. And we've also got the Star Wars, the Black Series Darth Maul Sith Apprentice, and this is the topless Darth Maul from, I believe,
Yes,
the Lockdown
it's
cover.
not Lockdown, it's just the Darth Maul comic. Talking about,
The Darth Maul comic cover. So the comic you just ordered is, and then the figure,
It is,
the same figure is getting released that matches the cover art.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
that'll
I've
look
got
really
it ordered
sweet
from
together on
Star
display,
Active,
mate.
but obviously I didn't know if you could sign up for this Hasbro Pulse, which I'll probably be doing.
So
Yeah.
I had both. So I've got Hasbro Pulse, and then obviously the exclusives went
Yeah.
on Star Action figures as well. I think maybe in the future exclusives that haven't been already up for retailers to buy, I think will now go to Hasbro Pulse directly. So you won't have a choice. But the Hasbro Pulse price is slightly higher than the Star Action figures price. So I pre-ordered all four from Star Action figures. I didn't take the bite into Hasbro Pulse just yet. But I think like I said, this come out of nowhere. Like, oh, Hasbro Pulse is here. It was essentially what the news was. It wasn't like it's coming soon. It was like it's here. Sign up now. Obviously, Star Wars wise, there's not an awful lot on there. But I think going forward with future exclusives, I would like to think the ones that haven't been shopped in the marketplace yet should be exclusive to Hasbro Pulse, because it doesn't make any sense for Hasbro Pulse to have exclusives and then have Star Action figures have exclusives as well. So I think going forward, the ones that other retailers haven't had a chance to order yet, I think they could be Hasbro Pulse only.
Is it £20 a month?
Which is cool.
Oh, that's mint. That yeah, I'm gonna
£20 for the year.
Yeah.
So that was an offer on the sign up straight away. So that's why I did it.
Yeah,
I think it's £40 normally full price.
It runs out on the 31st, so I'll sign up for that. Easy.
So yeah. So from the 31st of March, it goes up to £40.
So I'm just seeing what you get. Obviously, you get free UK delivery. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Like, yeah, I probably will end up getting that. Just for, like you say, exclusive and that. Cause if you can get all of the exclusives from Hasbro, then you don't have to. If there's an exclusive you really want, you don't have to pay through the nose on eBay or anything. Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. I think with this, I think exclusives will stop going to certain retailers in the UK, and I think American exclusives will come straight to Hasbro Pulse. So it just gives you that opportunity. So I'm hoping it's not a waste of money, but obviously we don't know what's coming. But I thought, let's take the gamble here. If Hasbro really want this to work in the UK, they need to put some really good exclusives on there. That's why people are using it. So it's just about having that faith with them to do it. So so I'll sign up Hasbro Pulse. I said half price, £20 instead of £40 up until the 31st of March. But yeah, I said I ordered all four of those figures. That was pretty cool. I've also received. So I got the actual issues. So I got all the first issues of.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Star Wars Shattered Empire. So I own the trade paperback, but my sister kindly got me all of the issues. I think it's 5 issues, isn't that right? Or 4? 5. So I've got all 4 issues of that. So I might even get those framed, I think, because it looked really cool. It was like the first comic sort of tying into the sequel trilogy at the time in 2015 when it got released. And she also got me the first Lando series, all in single issues, where Lando rips off the Imperial ship that ends up being
that comic's really good.
Show.
I've got all the issues of them as well. I got them when they first came out. Obviously 2015, I think. Let's believe.
Yeah. So I've got the trade, so I have read them, but she's managed to find all the first editions for us of the single issues. So I'm really, really pleased to dive into them. Really cool gift. So yeah, otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I've got on order at the moment. I've got me on the Hasbro Plus website. Obviously, there's Black Series figures, but there's also do you remember when the Force of X Darksaber came out and it sold out everywhere?
Oh, I'm having a look now, mate.
So that's available on the Hasbro Plus website.
I am having a look now. Let's have a look.
But
yeah, I'm guessing.
But the price is a lot of money. So I've not.
You don't fancy the snacky
bought that yet. It's real. It reminds me of them. I can't remember what they're called. I remember when I was young and like these dolls came out and you could feed them food, out of like toy food out of jars. like feed the baby. It was like, and I was just like, no, like you want your figures to like fool them around and stuff. But yeah, like this is a snacking
Jesus.
Grogu, which he's
You're not
the
wrong about that.
top merch seller.
Darksaber, right? Oh,
So like, how much
can't
was that when it
really
came out? Do you remember?
No,
Like, it was
yeah,
on
I
Amazon.
can't remember seeing it anywhere to order, but yeah, £250. Oh, a bit rich for my blood.
So it looks awesome, but I just
Yeah,
don't know if it's
I would
like
be tempted,
worth
like,
that
but
much.
not right now. I need a, like I said, we were talking earlier, I need a new laptop before I do anything like that.
Yeah.
Good,
So
thanks for that, though, mate. I had no idea
yeah,
about Hasbro
it's
Pulse, so
crazy.
yeah, I'm definitely going to sign up to that thing, which is pretty awesome, to be fair. Yeah, I'm just looking for the figures now. Some good stuff on there. They are a bit more pricier, I'm not going to lie. But if you're guaranteed to get them from them. And like I said, it's more for exclusive, isn't it? It's not for the everyday normal figure. If I fancy one, I'll probably still get from Star Action. But it's the exclusives, yeah, that you're on about. That obviously we tend to get shafted on in the UK and Europe, because obviously they're normally only available at cons and stuff, and sometimes they do it at like Comic Con, and then one retailer might get them in the UK. So hopefully we can go straight to the horse's mouth.
Definitely, mate. And then one other thing to talk about is there's a new book coming, Skywalker, A Family at War. So it's written by Kristen Baver from StarWars.com, who also hosts the weekly Star Wars
Nice. I like
This Week in Star Wars news show. So I imagine. So this is what she sort of has. It's going to be available from April 6th, wherever books are sold. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that is a worldwide release date, not just a US one, but we'll find out.
April 1st, apparently, mate, on Amazon.
Oh well, there we go.
Is
there a description? Is there a description of the book there on Amazon?
Wikipedia and have a look. 2 seconds, mate. Just vamp for 2 seconds. List of where's my feet? I'm just looking now. I'm just trying to get on Wikipedia. I don't want the list of books. I want list of future books. The one tab, I always have that list of future books on my tab, and the one time I actually need it now, it disappeared. Typical. List of... I can't... Doesn't seem to be up on Wikipedia, which is great. Oh, here we go. Skywalker Family at War. Let's have a look. Published summary. No group of characters have more impact on the Star Wars saga than the Skywalker family. In fact, it could be said that without the Skywalker clan, its mystical connection to the Force, both for good and ill, there will be no Star Wars at all. The Skywalkers, a family at war, explores every twist and turn of the turbulent story of the Skywalker dynasty, from Shmi Skywalker's immaculate conception and the slow seduction to the dark side of her son Anakin, to the heroics of his son Luke, and the twisted motives of Han Solo and Princess Leia's offspring Kylo Ren. The Skywalker story has everything: passion, intrigue, heroism, and dark deeds, leaving no stone unturned in tracing the dynasty trials and tribulations. This definitive biography of the Star Wars first family is a must-buy for all Star Wars fans. That's what it is, mate.
So yes, I'm not forward to diving into sort of the Skywalker legacy, so to speak, like diving into sort of the ins and outs of it all. I think that's going to be quite an interesting read. I think obviously we're reading a lot of fiction at the minute, and good fiction as well, in the High Republic and the Thrawn books, in the Star Wars comics. But I'm not looking forward to this sort of taking it back to sort of something we already know, but shedding more light on this. The world's most famous family, probably the Skywalker.
Star Wars, isn't it? Without them.
So I'm really looking forward
Apparently
to getting that. So April 1st on Amazon, is that right, for UK?
They do tend to.
Yeah, so it's April 6th is what the official release date is, which I imagine will be America.
I'm guessing they just haven't updated it. Like
most of the rest of the world. Yep. Next up, obviously, the Bad Batch. We have a release date for the Bad Batch. Bad Batch is the animated TV show that is essentially a spin-off from the Clone Wars. And that is going to debut on May the 4th, 2021 this year. So May the 4th, Star Wars Day. We're getting a brand new episode of the Bad Batch.
Tuesday.
It's a It's a
Yeah, it is Tuesday. So I
it's a
wonder if
Tuesday.
we'll get an episode on Tuesday and then they'll start picking up on Friday. Is that all right?
So we are, yeah. So Disney Plus have confirmed the premiere of Star Wars: The Bad Batch on Tuesday, May the 4th, with the second episode premiering on Friday, May the 7th.
That's
and
awesome.
subsequent
That's pretty
episodes
cool. Yeah,
on Fridays
that'll
thereafter.
Still, obviously, because you've got Falcon and Winter Soldier now, and then that'll end, and then obviously you've got Bad Batch, and then that'll end, and then you've got Loki after that. So yeah, they are starting to get their release schedule together, like to always give you a reason to stick around.
Yes, you got. I think we'll be getting Bad Batch and then
that.
Loki and stuff, and then like,
Yeah.
and then before you know it, we'll also be getting, like I said, Visions is coming in the autumn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hawkeye's
and then
coming
Book
out
of
this
Boba
year
Fett
as well.
in
Maybe
winter.
Miss Marvel. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to keep you going. But yeah, I'm hugely excited for the Bad Batch. It looks like I've watched the trailer about 100 times. It looks, that's an exaggeration, but a few times. But it does look like it's right Miley. I love that time period just after Revenge of the Sith. Like the Jedi Fallen Order was set around that time period as well. I really enjoy that time period. It's good to see, obviously, the Inquisitors come to the forefront, and obviously Vader is always about. Like I said, I saw this on Twitter. Obviously, with Vader at the end of the Clone Wars, someone did say it's funny that they created a model for Vader just for that. I know obviously he was going to be in the show, but then it does make me think that they create that model and obviously the Stormtrooper models and all that for the Bad Batch as well to use.
Possibly, it's a strange one. Like
Yeah,
for
I
me,
know
do
what
you
you're
remember
gonna
in
say,
that scene at the beginning where we see General Grievous? So
That's it. Yeah,
they created a General Grievous model just for like
and it looked awesome.
for the opening sequence of one episode. Yeah, and then like the Jedi Council who were there as well, like council members who were out fighting the war. So
I do think Vader will be in the Bad Batch.
There's a lot of design.
I really hope, obviously with Fennec Shand being in the Bad Batch, I really hope we see Boba Fett in the Bad Batch. Obviously, maybe we could see the start of their relationship and that type of thing.
Well, it's one of the ones where like the bad. Obviously, they haven't said how many seasons we're going to get of the Bad Batch. But,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could see this.
It could run for a few.
Don't see this as being like a one and done series because obviously you've got Rebels, which I can't remember when Rebels starts. I think Rebels starts about 5 years before A New Hope, like the first season. So you've definitely got plenty of room. You've got 10 years to play in that era.
Yeah, so obviously the first season's like in the trailer, they pretty much made out like this first season is going to be about the aftermath of the Clone War. It's almost going to be like a sequel series to the Clone Wars. But then once you deal with that and you deal with the Bad Batch and how they deal with Order 66 and the end of the war and not being needed anymore, and you deal with all that side of it, then once you go into the second series, you can essentially then dive into like right now the galaxy's changing from this prequel galaxy into this original trilogy galaxy. And how do these characters go through that? And then I think you could run it for 4 or 5 seasons. So I think like, no problem.
Like Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, which are going to be one and done, but they're different than live action. But yeah, I think the animated show can run, like you say, 4 or 5, as long as they've got a story to tell.
But also, like they've got these character models, as you said, for like the troopers and Vader and stuff, and it's like you probably don't need to use them in season 1. I mean, if the story fits, use them. But like, if you could introduce that like in season 2 and season 3, like, do you know what I mean? As new.
And then come the end, you had Palpatine, Vader, Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, Thrawn.
But I think Dave Filoni always says like less is more. So like you sprinkle them in. Obviously, Thrawn wasn't used less. Like Thrawn was a main baddie. Obviously, his debut in the Star Wars story, really. In the current canon, but I think like with Vader, I think you can't have Vader be the baddie every week because he would win. You can beat these guys, so it's like we introduce him at the start and we have him in the background as like as a invisible hand almost. The same with Palpatine. You don't really see him much. He comes into play a little bit at the end, but again, he's never actually there in the room with them. He's there from like he's there from another. He's there like from Coruscant.
Like I said, so, they always, when they're going to bring a character in, it always makes sense. I've seen an interview with Dave Filoni. He says, "I don't bring characters in unless there's a reason for it. As when obviously when the Mandalorian was coming out, and we heard all these rumors of Bo-Katan, Boba Fett. We never really heard rumors of Luke Skywalker, but we obviously heard those rumors. They all made sense in the show. Dave Filoni has got something to do with the Bad Batch, hasn't he? Yeah. It's like, I'm guessing
I think he's an executive producer, technically.
As he was with Clone Wars and all that type of thing. Yeah. So
he's not the supervising director
for all that, because obviously he's got bigger fish to fry now. He's obviously moved into the world of live action, writing Mando season 3, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the New Republic, and Book of Boba Fett. So he's definitely got a lot on his plate at the moment.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's like oh, well, like him and Favreau should be like the head of Lucasfilm. Like if they did that, then they would make
I think people get the idea. It's just
they haven't
do the shows. No, I'm pretty sure Kathleen Kennedy has to do the budgets and everything, the PR, the press, the negotiating stuff, and all that type of thing. Yeah.
Well, everything made like it's such a big company that the storytelling's such a big bit as well. So like like. If I was in charge of telling us, if I was in charge of a project, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm making Mandalorian, right? I've not got time to do anything else, probably. Like, no way. Otherwise, I'm going to put myself in an early grave or sacrifice my family because my wife and my children probably aren't going to want to see us because I don't make time for them because I'm not busy with work. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, people don't realize, we've done 1 day shooting, 9 to 5, time to go home. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, these people will be working like especially during set days, probably like especially people like Dave and John Favreau probably working 14-hour days those days. And that's before the months of build up before they even get to shoot anything. Yeah, and even just working the story, writing the scripts, like you gotta you don't just write and it's ready. Like you write it and then you gotta how is it fitting with what we've wrote so far? What changes can we make? Right, second draft time.
I think people
do you know what I mean? It's a people don't realise just how much of a time-consuming and art-form process it is. Like it takes a lot of time. People pour the sort of heart and souls into these things.
TV shows and that. It's not no disrespect. Like the TV shows 10, 15 years ago, they weren't the same level as they are now. Budget-wise, scope-wise, and all that type of thing.
Yeah, but and then even then, like. They would be the processes are still so time consuming, so it's like but now the pressure's even bigger because of the amount of money on the line. Because you've got to make. Some shows do, I think, and you're responsible for that budget. It's like, you know what I mean? It's so you have got to be. It's one of those things I find really strange about the Snyder Cut. So like, Zack Snyder had the script for the Justice League.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers read the script, loved it, signed it off, gave him the check. $200 million probably at least. Goes away, shoots all that stuff, come back, and then they're like, actually, we just want a 2-hour movie now and we want to change some things, so we're going to bring Josh Whedon in and give him another check. And it's like, but why did he give Zack Snyder the check after seeing what all he's done is he's filmed what he wrote, what he showed you he was going to shoot. You've okayed it and given him money to shoot it. Like it's just that's when you've got too many. Changing heads of studios is what causes that type of problem. And Warner Brothers, especially DC Films, has done that quite a bit. It's one of the reasons why I'm so glad Lucasfilm is just like, Cathy's at the top, overseeing it.
No, same with Marvel, isn't it?
And like, there's not too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's people around him and that, but the boss is
exactly, mate. Like, No, definitely. If you look back, like when I can't remember the guy's name now, but the guy who used to, there was two of them, him and someone else, and then they split a bit, and then he got the television arm. And he was making the Marvel shows for Netflix. I don't know. He probably doesn't sit anywhere now, I imagine. But and like they butt heads a little bit. So even like there, you'd see that how having different cooks in the kitchen can mess things up. Yeah, definitely. It's like if we have like one vision and this is the way we're going.
Yeah.
Then you have less issues. Do you know what I mean? And Star Wars has had its issues. Don't get us wrong. Like we've had director changes on some projects and stuff like solo Star Wars story.
Well, not announced.
Well, I mean, I think projects are always in the work, and not every project is a light of day. I think like if you anybody who sort of knows the Hollywood bubble a little bit in the filmmaking process, like projects get sort of allowed to go into pre-production, well, not necessarily production, but like pre-production all the time, and then go into development, and then for one way or another doesn't get picked up.
Obviously, because they had the Josh Trank Boba Fett film, didn't they? The James Mangold Boba Fett film that were apparently in development. I wonder if they're using any of that for Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, he was doing a
I don't know. I mean, I think Josh Trank was signed on. He was doing a project.
Yeah.
But for how far he got through in development of that, we don't know. I don't think he got very far, to be fair. And then obviously, I think he was in a bad place after what happened with Fox and stuff. So I think that fell apart naturally. I think.
Yes, it was.
No, it was announced at the celebration. I believe it was mentioned. I think obviously he ended up he went through a lot of tough times with the Fox Studio. Like he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. They were like, oh well, and they went like, oh, we'll get someone else in to do it. It was like, oh no, like we'll just take the time, deep breath, got other things going on. It's fine. All that plates are spinning. Do you know what I mean? It's good. The Mangold thing, I don't know how real any of that was. It seems to me ever since when they started writing Mandalorian, that episode where Fennec Shand gets found by the boots, that is Boba Fett. They always knew it was Boba Fett. The plan was season 2 Boba Fett. So to me, since that time when that started getting developed,
that was the funniest thing.
That was the plan for Boba Fett, in my opinion.
They were talking about the Boba Fett, obviously boots, and Dave's like, no, they'll know it's Boba, but then they'll think, no, they're messing with us. That was funny, though. And the McClunky line.
So, but no, so but yeah, so like I think it'd be interesting to see if we do get Boba Fett in.
I hope so, because then it'll probably be Daniel Logan
for the season, whether it comes later.
Daniel Logan season, maybe. Always game to return as a character, because he'd be more Daniel Logan than Tamura Morrison at this point. So yeah, I follow Daniel Logan on Instagram and all that, and he all for playing Boba Fett again, which would be awesome, because I think he did a great job as obviously the young Boba.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see. I think I just hope they don't shoehorn it in, because like obviously if he's at a young age, I don't really need to see him and Fennec Shand get together.
I just think
20 years before we see them in Thingy. Like it's a bit, and then obviously, and then when he sees these clones, he's going to see his dad. Really,
share there, obviously, because in the comics, the Age of Republic, Jango Fett comic, he didn't really care about the clones. He just saw them as a byproduct. But he did, obviously, the main, obviously, besides the money, which he got paid a substantial amount to do, his main thing was obviously Boba, to continue his legacy. That's the whole point. That's the whole point why he did it. Obviously, he got paid a lot of money to do it as well. And obviously, having an army that's going to take over the galaxy is not a bad thing either. But he really didn't care about the clones. He just said, "I'll look up the comic now quickly." Because I remember it was a really interesting scene where he basically said he didn't really care about them. They're not him. But obviously, Boba is him. If you know what I mean. Just looking now. It says he's on Camino.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Basically, the Kaminoan from Attack of the Clones, what's her name? Tonway? He's talking to Boba and he says, not a single clone unit has fallen below combat parameters. You must be very proud. And he says, but Django says, what do I have to be proud of? Livestock bred as cannon fodder. Like you said, they're your creations. So he's obviously not that bothered about the actual clones. You know what I mean? But I would love to see. Obviously, we just talked about Book of Boba Fett and all that type of thing. I'd love to see. I don't know if they could do it because obviously they'd have to de-age him. But I'd like to see a flashback to Django. And that I've just since Attack of the Clones, I've loved Django Fett as a character, and I've got the Black Series figure of him. And I think it'd be awesome to see. You don't even have to de-age him. You can just have him talking with a helmet on. Just change his armor back to Django's. If you know what I mean. Went off in a bit of a tangent there, but you know what I mean? Yeah. No, that's all good. Yeah, well, definitely. I'm still reading Victory's Price.
What Star Wars books have you finished recently?
And then, like I said, work just took over. So Victory's Price is very good. Obviously, the third book in the Alphabet trilogy, which I've enjoyed thoroughly. Like, basically, they're all new characters. Harrison Doolett is in it, and she's got a bigger role in the third book. But she's pretty much the only, like, obviously, legacy character. Obviously, a character that we've met before. Admiral Akbar's in it in the third one from time to time. He's part of the New Republic War Council. But other than that, no, there's all new characters that, obviously, I don't know how the book ends, so I'm going to have to find out. But there's a few that I would love to see show up in Rangers of the New Republic if they survive. So that'd be pretty sweet. But other than that, mate, no, that's it at the moment. Yeah. I really do. I've got about 8 books coming, so I'm going to have to get my fingers and start reading them.
Yeah. No, definitely me too. I'm so behind, but I'm hoping to get caught up soon. So sort of one last news article to talk about. This is from March the 20th. Kevin Feige, he said he's not involved in any live action series development for Star Wars. So obviously we know Kevin Feige is developing an upcoming Star Wars feature film. As we've just said, things get developed all the time and don't necessarily make it to production. So don't put too much pressure on it. But yeah, despite developing an upcoming Star Wars feature film, Kevin Feige has said that he is not involved in any live action series development, stating that that's all Kathleen Kennedy. This was with Entertainment Weekly. So yeah, essentially this is what he said. He said, "No, that's all Kathleen Kennedy. I'm involved in as much as I stay up until midnight LA time and watch new episodes."
He's a massive Star Wars nerd, isn't he? He is.
Yeah. So, which he is. Yeah, but again, it makes sense. Like he's running Marvel Studios and he's developing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Like that will be like his days will be full. Like that. Like do you know what I mean? Again, he'll be trying to make time to fit his family in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, not to mention like developing TV shows. So I thought it was a really fun thing. I used to how he stays watching Mandalorian. As we all know, he does love Star Wars.
Was it the Russo? So they said used to see his basement. It's just full of stuff. Yeah, which is pretty sweet.
And if you go back to the Star Wars show I used to run every week with Andy and Anthony, they did an interview with him once where he talked about his love Star Wars, and you could see him getting quite like
out of all the ones that
very into it.
I'm pretty sure that'll get greenlit.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends, like if it's like rubbish, mate. Like, I'm sure it won't be, but I think I think we need to not get too far ahead of ourselves. I think it's in development. As I said, Josh Trank had one in development. Guess what? Don't say it for whatever reason. Look at what George was developing, like the Underworld Bounty Hunter series. It's in development. Spent a lot of money on developing it, but it was a case of like
you could do it now.
The world's not in a position where this can be done yet. Like. In
early 2000s, wasn't it?
I was working on it like in the early 2010s and stuff, where like back when streaming service was Love Film, where you'd send away for the discs and they get delivered to your door. Like that is what streaming was like at the time. Like, do you know what I mean? So it isn't until Netflix, Prime, all these big streaming services have come to the height of power, and then the budgets have all increased for these TV shows. As we've said, a big budget now, as you've already said earlier in the episode. Like, without that, like, you wouldn't be making these shows. You also wouldn't be making them without, you can make them in house where you're getting the budget from in house. Without the Disney money, you're probably not doing it. So, or like I said, you sell your idea, but then that place makes it, so HBO will make it. Like, do you know what I mean? Which George probably wouldn't have wanted. Like, I don't know if you know the Clone Wars story, but it's like they made the whole first season,
Yes.
And then usually you make the first episode, you shop it around, someone picks up the pilot, they pay you for it, they commission you to make X amount of episodes, and then you deliver the episodes to them, and they also have some input in the episodes. But no, he went and made the entire first season, he shopped around, and he was like, this is the price, and this is this is what you get the whole first season. And that's how it looks, it's not changing.
It's George Lucas,
obviously, the Cartoon Network obviously snapped it up out of his hands. But like, doing that with a TV series that's worth even more, Like, if you're telling me what say if you made
pricey.
the first season of the Underworld series, let's just say it was that. Let's just say it cost what 10 million episode roughly. Like, you know what I mean? Let's just say, you know, because back then when television shows were longer, so let's just say it was 20 episodes, right? First season. So there's 200 million. There's 200 million it cost to make. He's then selling it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be selling for 200 million. And like, all these people are going to pick something up like that. Like, do you know what I mean? So it just was a different landscape back then. But goes to show he knew that like things which he was ready for now.
Well, he always has been, hasn't he?
Before now was here. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like George was ready for today's landscape 15 years ago.
No, that's the case. Yeah.
But the world wasn't ready for him. So you yeah. Definitely.
No, mate,
have you got anything else you want to ask before we wrap up today's episode?
No, that's it, mate, really. There's obviously, we're in a bit of a Star Wars lull at the moment. Obviously waiting for Bad Batch to come out. Obviously TV side books and that is still pretty good. But yeah, we're just waiting for this Bad Batch to come out. Obviously, probably we'll probably look to do weekly reviews of the Bad Batch. We'll just do a double one, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Obviously, that first week will be 2 episodes as well, so it'll be good to have a big dive into that there. But yeah, as I said, like from a Star Wars point of view, obviously, like I said, you know, our past 2 episodes, we've got our first episode of our Purity Belter. So issue 1 is Brian Balance telling us why Qui-Gon Jinn is Purity Belter. Definitely check that out if you love Qui-Gon Jinn. We go really deep and have a really fun conversation about Qui-Gon Jinn. Episode 2 is coming soon. That is with Brandon from the Talking Day 94 podcast. He loves behind the scenes and the making of Star Wars. So we sort of have a really fun conversation about why he loves that side of Star Wars, and also sort of the amount of details we get in the making of Star Wars, like why that just makes our fandom and our desire to be Star Wars fans even higher. So that's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. As I said, we also had our Knowing Me, Knowing You episode with Caitlin from Sky Talkers, which was a fantastic episode. Definitely go and check that out. And then we are also hoping to have Charlotte, so that is Caitlin's co-host from the Sky Talkers podcast, to come on and do another episode of that, hopefully this month or next month. And then we have also, it's already recorded, we just need to figure out where it's going to be released. I did a sit-down interview with a Creature FX crew member from Solo Star Wars Story. So that'll be coming soon as well to the podcast feed. So stay tuned for those types of things coming. And obviously, before you know, Bad Batch will be here as well, and we'll be
definitely
be reviewing those, which will be really cool.
Really good. Obviously, it's good to see the podcast growing, and it's awesome to be a part of it, mate.
No, definitely, mate. It is. There's a lot of awesome stuff coming. So I think it's going to be a lot of awesome content coming from Star Wars, and obviously that's going to give us plenty of things to talk about, which is just going to, you know, give us even more episodes, which is going to be fantastic.
Obviously during the
lot more fun than talking about Star Wars.
There was no new Star Wars. We couldn't have done this show, so it's just good to have so much to talk about. Yeah,
definitely, and especially I think in the pandemic as well. Definitely, obviously. Hopefully, you know, I know here in the UK, I think over half the adult populations have been vaccinated, which is fantastic. I know, obviously, in America, we've got, you know, I think over half our listeners are American. You know, you've vaccinated over 100 million people there, which is good news. So if these vaccination programs keep up, I think, you know, we'll be back to normal soon. But I think one of the best things for me has been like having the podcast and also just having like Star Wars to talk about. Really has sort of helped with the lockdown and not being able to go out and do things. You know, there's always been like Star Wars to talk about and give us joy, which is always awesome. Where can the people find you on social media, Ian?
That's where you find me.
Fantastic. But yeah, listeners, thank you very much for listening. Ian, thank you very much for joining us. Everybody, please stay safe out there. Like I said, looks like the virus is getting under control, which is good, but, you know, we still need to be vigilant. Keep your space, everyone. Wash your hands, wear your masks, and that's all. Look after each other. Be kind.
Please follow us on Twitter at BoresStar. That's at BORESSTAR. And on Instagram and Facebook at Star Wars Podcast. You can also reach us on email at starwarspodcast@gmail.com. The Star Wars Show can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be found. Please give us a like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a 5-star review. May the Force be with you.